and welcome to the Global Fashion Workshop channel. Our course, A Sheath Dress with a Dolman Sleeve in 10 Days, is completed, and we've made a course, How to Make a Basic Dress. I present to you my author's course, Basic Sheath Dress. You'll learn how to make the pieces of the dress and the lining, learn how to make a set-in sleeve, how to attach the lining to the garment, and to make the dress look perfect. Our training course consists of 17 lessons. Register by the link down below this video. Don't be afraid. You will succeed because we will be with you all the time. We'll be happy to see you at our online course.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the Global Fashion Workshop channel. I remind you that we release a new video 3 times a week, and we are your hosts today, Inga and Natasha. Today we want to talk to you about my autumn outfit, and we'll start with the skirt. I think it's a really interesting design. It may not be so obvious from the sketch, but it will be surely unique. We'll also made a parka coat especially for this skirt. We'll show the ensemble when we're done. For this outfit, I chose the wonderful corduroy from our fabric boutique. It's very soft and made from cashmere and cotton. I'm thrilled with this corduroy. It's really delicate and I'm excited to see how it will look on me. Here you can see all the corduroy hues. I didn't know if I wanted a khaki or a hazelnut color. Khaki appealed to me at first because it's darker. The outfit is for everyday use, so I didn't want to choose any bright colors. I was looking for something more soft, low-key and casual. You can find these fabrics in our fabric boutique. Let's get back to the skirt pattern. I also wanted to point out that Natasha and I work a lot together. We always make different clothes for me. We design, we plan the lines. We also do a lot of sketches. Yes, we have been working together on your wardrobe for many years already. That's why we'll appear in this video with my clothing together. We can also talk about a bit more on this sketch. Inga chose a midi skirt with an A-line silhouette. The top of the skirt is really similar to a pair of jeans. It has its pockets, its fly, its belt loops. It has these reliefs coming from the hips, and the central part is longer than the rest of the skirt by 10 to 12 centimeters. It has a small yoke in the back. Here's quite a shallow vent. You can't really see it in the sketch. And it also has some patch pockets, like a typical pair of jeans. And I forgot to mention the high slit on the center of the front side. It's not an easy design. It'll be interesting. I think it will also suit me well. This kind of silhouette is the right shape for you. So we thought this would be the perfect fit. It also has a really interesting small pocket between the relief and the side seam. We'll see about the stitching. We'll make the skirt out of mocha fabric first and then try it on Inga to adjust the final length and the flaring. Because we always end up making it bigger and then cut it down when we measured it on Inga. That's why it's better to use mocha fabric. We'll show you how to mock up slits and then we'll make the actual corduroy skirt. We also want to show you a fitting of the final skirt and a review of the finished piece. I will leave you with Natasha. She'll show you the modeling on her own. We can already remove the sketch. As always, we start by transferring the baseline of the skirt to tracing paper. We have done the measuring for Inga. Even Irina Mikhailovna measured this not that long ago, so we take away the measures. We immediately added some length. We considered this the maximum length of the center part of the skirt, so we added to the whole skirt. We'll shorten it later. First off, we'll close the darts to turn our straight skirt into an A-line one. Okay, I suggest keeping the seam here and making the dart a little straighter. Now we'll trace it from the top to the bottom and we'll cut it out. I also want to draw your attention to the fact that normally we narrow our skirt about 1.5 centimeters over here. And since we have a trapeze skirt, we have just traced a straight line. Let's cut out the dart. And we cut all the way down to close it. I would suggest to put some tape on this part. Let's get the back side of the skirt out of the way for now. And we'll see what we have for now. The central part of the front of the skirt is longer than everything else by 10 to 12 centimeters. We draw the line, and I think the central part will be roughly 12 to 13 centimeters long. Maybe even 14. That's the width of these parts. I taped the dart. And still, the flaring is a bit too much for this design, because it's kind of shaped like some trousers on the front. And if we do a big flare, even if we take 14 centimeters from here, the design will have a weird look. And it doesn't really fit Inga either, so I'd rather not close the dart entirely. We'll leave it like this. We already have our A-line and a modest flare. We've taped some tracing paper so you can see it better. Let's start by shortening the side of the skirt by 12 centimeters. Now the middle. Let's keep it at 15 to make it more proportional. And now we'll have to draw a beautiful line, more or less from thigh level, since that's where our relief begins. Now we'll draw it and do approximations until it's nice and beautiful, and then we'll trace it. Watch this. If we finally take the 15 centimeters width we considered, it will result in an awkward line. Let's widen it a little. As we're making the skirt out of mock-up fabric, let's widen the center part, so the side looks nicer. I think this line is perfectly fine. We can do any adjustments at the fitting. It's okay because we'll be working with our prototype. Let's cut off the excess at the bottom. Good. We still have the pockets over here. They look like jeans pockets from the side. We can mark them. We also have this little pocket at the side of the skirt. We will mark it for now to see it better. I'd like to cut out the upper pocket in the pattern. We'll leave the side pocket for now. This is it. Let's cut out the side. And we got our front side. Let's deal with the back side now, cutting it out. And we'll model it just as so. Here we have our darts. If we just leave the piece open to the bottom, we will get a huge flare, so we will close it partly. Let's cut out the back side. We have a 3 cm dart and a 2 cm one, 5 cm total. I think we'll widen this one to 5 cm. It will be too big if we were to stitch it up. But since we'll be moving it down and closing it, there's no problem. As the opening gets wider, the dart gets longer. But this is purely a symbolic dart to keep us going. We trace it all the way to the end and cut it out. Let's ignore this dart for now, since we will have our opening in this one, so let's cut it out. right to the bottom. And we close the dart completely for the time being, so that we can draw a nicer yoke line. It's just temporarily. Because if we keep it like this, we'll keep a big flare. But for now it's comfortable for working with the upper part. Our yoke won't be too big, barely 7 centimeters long in the middle, maybe 8, and approximately 5 centimeters on the sides. We draw a straight line. Now that our dart is closed, we got a little notch here. Later, when we close this part a little, we'll do some adjustments. For now, these are our yoke lines. We don't have a relief here, so we'll just have the flare we'll get thanks to our dart and the yoke. We'll make the pocket after the fitting. It's very important to mark that this is the center of the back side. We need to cut 12 centimeters off because the back side is also shorter than the center part. 12 centimeters will be enough not to be uncomfortable with the length. "12 centimeters. Let's see how we're going." We'll have the warp thread on the center of the back side, so we'll also write that down. We also have a small vent here. Not small, but shallow. It's like a slit, but covered up so it doesn't open up. I think we'll make it around 35 centimeters long. We'd rather cut it out later, after we've done the fitting on Inga, so that we don't make it too short. But let's mark it so we don't forget about it when sewing. There we go. We already have our yoke line. We cut our dart and we close it so it matches up. So it matches up with the line of the side seam. They should have the same angle. Just like that. Let's check again. 33.5, 33.5. We cut out the yoke and tape it so we don't lose the small part. And we're left with this part. We'll sew up the dart later. This will give volume to the hips. And now we'll finish up with the yoke. We can't just leave a convex part like this. So we'll tape some tracing paper on it and level it up. This is our yoke. We added the tracing paper. We can use our French curve to draw a beautiful line. And this is our final result, so let's immediately mark it. The center, the yoke, and we can cut out the extra paper. This is what we've got so far. The back side, the yoke, the dart. We'll line up the edges of the dart when we stitch it. We can even see that it's a little uneven if we close it now. So let's fix it, just a few millimeters. We have marked the center. Let's add that this is also a warp thread. We also marked everything on the back. I want to bring your attention to the front side again. Over here, when we closed the dart, we got a little opening here. We left it like that. I suggest that we take a little bit more of this side seam here and see. We'll still leave a little room on the waist. It won't hurt since Inga has a figure with a little bit of tummy, so we'll just outline and cut a little bit off the side. Just 0.7 centimeters. And we'll add 0.7 to the waist. We also need a high slit on the front side. We'll mark it with a line. And write down center of the front side. Warp thread. Here you can clearly see which is the side. We'll get a warp thread mark on the pocket. It will go this way. That's it. The end of our modeling. Look at everything we made. I'm a little bit thrilled with such a steep side. But we'll see how the fitting goes. And we'll do the necessary changes after that. Well, our skirt is ready, and this is the end of our video. I hope everything was clear. You can comment what you think. We are very interested in your opinion. Click the like button and subscribe to our channel. Until next time. Bye!